So here we are in 2021. I wonder when they start making films about 2020. I wonder what they'll be like. And for sure, I want to stay alive so I can see these movies. Because me and my family are obsessed with movies. So today I'm going to talk about the films that we saw in 2020. Yes, there wasn't all that many compared to usual, and I really miss the banter that the rest of my family give to these videos, but there's only me today because, for various reasons, they don't want to take part and they're going camera shy. I really miss the banter, and I know I'm not as young or as pretty, and the glare on these glasses are really annoying me. But let's carry on. So, 2020, the first film I saw was Little Women, on the January the 1st actually. Couldn't wait to get to the movies. And I like this film. It was, I've seen many versions over the years, and probably not the best one, but it has been a while since I saw them, and I used to read the books when I was younger. The rest of the films, like Star Wars, Frozen, Jumanji, and Cats, are films that I saw in 2019, so I won't discuss them too much. But one film I was really, really looking forward to, 1917. So why, do you ask? Well, it sounds a bit sad, but this year just stuck in my mind because that was the year my great-grandfather died in the Second World War, fighting. So just the year just really stood out to me. And when I saw it, I was blown away. I saw it 4 times, all in all, with different people. One of the best times was when I went. It was quite a small screening, not lots of people there, not many seats, but there were lots of people there because all the seats were taken. And a lot of them were taken by military people and their families. And that really touched me. I did shed a tear, or as my favourite saying goes, my eyes were moist. So, in respect of things, I'd like to say that was my favourite film up until March. Not the most cheerful films, although there was a bit of comedy in. Jojo Rabbit, should we talk about that? Well, when I first saw the trailer, I thought, no, I do not fancy that at all. It just totally disrespectful, just totally wrong. And even though I like the actors in it, and the director certainly I thought, no, I'm not going to see that. I'm going to give it a miss. And then somebody said they really enjoyed it. So I thought, come on, don't be small-minded, just see it and see what you think. Well, I loved it. It was funny, it was touching. I didn't find it offensive, but I know I can understand why some people did. But the performances were just brilliant. The kids were brilliant, and it's that sort of style that's, yes, it's not realistic, but it was done in a way that was thought-provoking. And it was funny. I saw it. When I saw it, managed to see it twice at the cinema, and the second time I took my daughter. But because the cinema was packed, funny enough, we could only there were only 2 seats available, and the one was at each end of the line. We could get a seat, so we couldn't sit together. So I was at one end and she was at the other. And usually I have to gag her to keep her quiet in the cinema. Of course, I couldn't do that with all these people in between us. So I heard her. I can spot her voice a mile off and her reactions. And to hear her reactions was just really funny. And I could hear some audience members sort of like not laughing at her, but laughing at her the reactions that she was giving. So this has really stood out in my mind, and one of the good times that we shared together, even though we couldn't sit together. Yeah, I found that good that we were, sitting in a packed cinema. So I will certainly count that as one of my other top 3 films in this section of 2020. The other films, yeah, I really enjoyed. I try and support British films. So there was the, personal journey of David Copperfield and The Gentleman. Very different films. I enjoyed them. I even managed to see Spies in Disguise. Now, this really amuses me. Again, it was a packed cinema. But it wasn't full of kids, it was full of teenagers because they wanted to hear Will Smith. And I didn't think that was the sort of thing that they would watch, but they really enjoyed it. I was wanting to see it for a long time, but I was just never able to. And so when I saw an opportunity I did do. So yeah, really enjoyed Spies in Disguise. I managed to see Love Me Tender. I'm a big Elvis Presley fan, even after all these years. And then, of course, I realised it was even though it was in black and white, it was a sad one in the end, where he dies. Sorry, spoilers. But yeah, it was good to see an Elvis film in the cinema. Birds of Prey, I enjoyed, and Queen and Slim. Dr. Dolittle, that was a surprise. Even the accent didn't put me off. It was funnier than I intended, and it was good. And sometimes it was, yeah, I know not to everybody's taste, and people can spot the flaws a mile off it. I just take it with a pinch of salt. I enjoyed it, and the people I went with enjoyed it as well. So that was on the list, and it's good to introduce these old films, or what we saw years ago as old, to a new audience, to people that they've never seen. They've never seen Dr. Dolittle before. Totally different from the Rex Harrison film, so it's worth a check out. Now, Parasite. When it originally came out, I just didn't fancy it. I thought it was a horror film, to be honest. Now, I was annoyed, kind of, that it won Best Film at the Oscars, and I hadn't seen it by then. But then I thought, come on, I managed to see it by myself, and I enjoyed it, but I do wish that 1917 would have won. But I am pleased for Korea. So in hindsight, I'm pleased that it won it. So yeah, The Invisible Man. I'm skipping here a bit. Now, when I see the old films with the old technology of making the invisibility things, they never became my all-time movie greats. Even if it's actors I liked, I just thought, well, this is very cheesy, it just doesn't work. But now we've got the technology, I thought The Invisible Man was excellent. It was just amazing. It seemed real. Even the science behind how they explained about the costume was plausible. So, yeah, really enjoyed that. Let's talk about the other. It was hard to decide which was my third favourite film in this little section, but I put The Call of the Wild. Now, I know it wasn't to everybody's taste, and again, they could pick out the flaws. My response to this, yes, it was intended for kids. It was intended for a younger audience with their parents. Now, years ago, this was my favourite book. Again, I haven't read it for a while, and I just loved it. I just couldn't put it down. I read it over and over again, and even my mom was saying, what are you doing? What are you doing reading that again? You read it loads of times. Now, the film wasn't as dark as it was originally when I read the book, but I think that's because it was for a younger audience. But I used to love it, and the response about the you know, the CGI dog. The things that were happening to the dog in the film and the other dogs were quite risky for them, you know, with real dogs to take place. So I think that was a good way because they made it good with CGI because they wouldn't put the dogs in danger, and you couldn't say, well, this was cruel to the dogs and things like that. So that was my take through from the 1st of January 2020 to the 14th of March before lockdown. I made a previous video about, you know, what happened, all the floods and fires and goodness knows what. Maybe I should have not gone out and stayed at home, but who knows. What a crazy year, eh? So my favourite films until lockdown were 1917, Jojo Rabbit and The Call of the Wild. And please tell me what other films you liked in this time. So after lockdown, in August, I managed to see these films Onward. Previously I've made a video about this. Yeah, let's be honest, there weren't great films, were there, that I saw until the second lockdown again. Unfortunately, I'm in a tier where the cinemas are closed. So these films, let's briefly talk about them. There's loads of films I want to see, and they're just being postponed. But just let's get on with it. Let's just support the cinemas. Pinocchio 2020. Again, apart from seeing the Disney film, it was a good thing to introduce to the kids. Again, I take on board the people's criticisms. Oh, why wasn't it subtitled instead of dubbed? I quite liked it dubbed, actually. I think if it had been subtitles, the kids would have got bored seeing that. I think the images were so scary that maybe it wasn't for kids, but somebody older introducing it to, I think it was enjoyable. I know I watched somebody and they didn't like it, but I enjoyed it. Tenet, I thought it was, yeah, probably not the best, but I enjoyed it. An intelligent movie. I think a lot of times people would have just got confused. But considering everything that was going on in that time, I applaud the bravery of putting it on. I hoped it would have made more money, but people just weren't going to the cinema. Tenet, yeah, I think probably one of my favourites in this bad section, but it's not much to go on. Elvis would be my other, a documentary, That's the Way It Is. Big Elvis fan. I really enjoyed seeing it at the cinema again. Really excited. Saw it with another Elvis fan, so that was good. New Mutants, well, it had promise. It was disappointing, but it could have had potential. I know people have been waiting ages to see it, but yeah, I can say that. Okay, yeah, it was okay. Bill and Ted Face the Music. I was just pretty tired when I watched this, and I wish I would have liked to have seen it a second time actually with somebody, but I didn't get to see it. But I think I'll probably try and watch it on screening sometime, you know. So I'm glad they put it out, and I applaud the bravery. Cats and Dogs 3. No. No, I'm sorry. I saw the others. It's been a while since the last Cats and Dogs. This just did not do it for me. I managed to see actually Trolls World Tour, Again, that was something I would have seen before lockdown, and I should see it again. So yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was good fun. Again, it's some sort of thing that you see that you don't take so seriously, and it's just good fun. I like the music. It's colourful. I like a lot of colour. We managed to see the Secret Garden, which is again is one of the films I would have seen. You know, it was scheduled, I think, just after lockdown, so I got to see that. And I like this thing, you know, introducing these old books to a younger audience, because it's a good introduction, so it's made well. Very dark to start with, very dark and depressing, but in a way that's made the ending more bright and colourful and optimistic. So I could see the sense of that. An Honest Thief, I'm a big Liam Neeson fan, but I thought he was going to stop doing these films, and I could see that he was trying to go for the romantic side of, and it's something that actually pulls off, even though he's a man of older years. I think if he can pull off the romantic side of things, but again, it wasn't brilliant. So this is all we had to go by. I would have carried on if it wasn't for the second lockdown. So there you go. Well, my hopes and fears for the future. The fears are what's going to happen. I want to support the cinema. I know somebody who watched Wonder Woman. We are in the wrong tier to watch the to go to the cinemas. They sort of Wonder Woman, and I was quite jealous because it's certainly one of the films that I want to see. And I'm grateful for the streaming services. During the Christmas period, I watched both the Christmas Chronicles with the Kurt Russell films, and I really enjoyed them. Yeah, they were a laugh. I really see Kurt Russell now as somebody I've known all my life, basically. Watching him in different films, being an admirer of his for years. And I see him totally different. I think he makes a brilliant Santa, so please bring on Christmas Chronicles 3. I saw a film called Klaus, which is another Christmas film that was recommended to me, and I really enjoyed that. But, you know, Christmas Day, Disney Plus dropped a film that I was going to see again called Soul. Now, this was a film I was going to see at the cinema, and I really wish I could see it at the cinema. And I just thought it was amazing. It's definitely one of the best films of 2020. I hope to get to see it in the future. Who knows, at the cinema. Definitely appreciate it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. It's an amazing film, and hats off to Disney. It's brilliant. So yes, I want to see cinemas reopen. I felt safe at the cinema, probably because there wasn't all that many people going. I wore a mask. The ones that I went to were clean, and not many people went. But I think even if with the social distancing and wearing a mask and the the air filters, I'm hoping that's the way to go, and I'm hoping I get to see lots more in 2021. So that's my take on the last year's films. Who knows what's going to happen? Hopefully, my family will help make some more videos, because I know they're the star attraction. Sorry for the glare on my glasses. I tried taking my glasses off, I couldn't see a damn thing. So please keep going to the cinema when they are open. Love the streaming services, but they belong in the cinema. To go to the cinema is one of my favourite things. I'm not going to apologise for that. So I just wish you all a happy 2021, and just please give me your thoughts and comments, and keep them respectful. I will listen. Alright, Happy New Year. Bye.